And welcome, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Lights, Sultan High School. We have football in March, everybody, and we are excited to be here as the Sultan Turks take on the Cedar Park Eagles in a Emerald League Conference matchup. I am got a special honor tonight. I am joined on the broadcast by none other than Matt Keeler. Matt, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, good to see you. It feels good to have some company tonight after last week at Kings.
Yeah, I did get a chance to watch the. Was it a shoulder camera you were wearing?
No, Matt Deason was on camera, so yeah, it worked out all right.
Oh yeah, so it was good to see that we were able to go there. So we're getting ready here. We're going to do our national anthem, and then we'll talk football as we get ready.
Umpire Chris Willard, line judge Matthew Gray, head linesman Mark Guffey, and back judge Dan Curry. Thank you, gentlemen, for helping make tonight's game possible.
Can you say Friday Night Lights, Matt? Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I was just talking with Jared about it. We usually do our annual, every week, tailgate parties. And today felt like a day we should have had a tailgate party in the parking lot.
Well, yeah, a lot of our traditions have been put by the wayside. I mean, we are playing football when we should be playing baseball, and but I'm excited to be here and bringing Friday Night Lights. As always, I am Brian Atkinson, aka Coach Brian, the voice of the Turks. There on the production board, and we've got a host of characters, and we do call them characters up there on the cameras for you.
And we got freshman Hunter Tradlener getting ready to kick off for the Turks.
Espresso kickoff coming up.
Brandon Parrish back for Cedar Park, along with, I believe that's Johnny Petrus. Nope, it's Noah Corcoran-Clark.
Noah Corcoran-Clark, a 5'8", 145-pound quarterback DB freshman for Cedar Park. And it's game time. Host the Turks in there, make the tackle there.
Start at the 35-yard line. Well, this is an interesting matchup. Cedar Park runs the same wing tee offense we do, so a lot different from what they saw last week at Kings, where it was more of a spread, a lot more passing. So we should see a lot of running. This team in 2 weeks outscored their opponents 92-0.
Well, yeah, I've been watching those scores.
Although just as we expected the wing tee, they came out in shotgun.
So the Eagles are coached by Manasseh Hopoi, and I'm going to look up and get us some more information on that as we go on. And,
I think those of you with Husky fans will recognize the name. He has some roots in this area.
big second down coming up for the Turks here. 5 yards on first down. Referee's going to stop play there for a second. Stop the play. All right, now we're going to wind the clock.
Nope, we got a jump there, I think, on the Turks. Don't think I saw anybody from Cedar Park move, but I could be wrong.
He's looking like he's going
Yeah,
backwards.
we'll take it.
False start on Cedar Park. Makes the second down even better, even a little harder to gain a first down on. And,
Second and 10, right?
second and 10 coming up for the Turks. For the Eagles.
Get two out to the right, one wing back to the left. Ooh, ball's on the ground.
Ball's on the ground. Sack for the Turks, number 52. Tyler Deason in on the stop on that.
Caden Webster got it in there too.
Caden Webster's out there too, you betcha. So good start for the Turks. Defensively here.
Third and 19 for Cedar Park. Ball up the middle, no. Good fake out to the outside. Nice sweep.
Well,
Chaz Bush was one of them on there. See? Along with Weston Bauer, number 5 for the Turks.
I must say, it's nice to have somebody here that knows all the players so readily.
Getting there. Third game here.
So big fourth and 15 coming up. Fourth and 19.
So last week against Kings, I'm not sure they punted. If they did, it wasn't until the second half. So this is definitely a good stop here on the first drive. We got 17. That's Derek Feltner, our freshman, one of our freshmen back.
Get away from that. I got to watch Derek Feltner a couple weeks ago against Granite Falls. The young freshman did well. I thought he played very well, and there was a whole lot of learning going on.
And he got a nice 70-yard touchdown pass reception last week against Kings for our first score.
Yeah, well,
fast kid.
That doesn't surprise me in the least. I've been watching his career as a youth athlete in this area since he was born.
Have you seen him play baseball?
I have seen him play baseball, and I know it's I actually think that's probably his best sport. Looking at some of the names out there and for the Turks, and we can have some fun talking about some of them.
Sargent back to pass off to the right, intended for Bauer, incomplete.
You look at some of these names on here now. We have Weston Bauer Gailey. Yep. He is a 5'11" DB sophomore, and he is the son of another former Turk player, correct?
Yes. And he's got a brother, 8th grade brother, coming up in my son Caden's class. Really good athlete as well, basketball, football kid. Done some soccer too. Very athletic family. And actually, his mom was a multi-sport athlete at Sultan High School as well.
They're down. Turks come out throwing.
So that was intended for Kobe. He hasn't had a lot of looks. If you noticed, he broke his finger in game number 1.
I knew that. I think I saw the play that happened on.
He's a little concerned with baseball starting up here in a couple weeks, but it's getting better.
Now, is it right hand or left hand?
It's left hand.
Oh, that
helps.
Yeah. Because he throws right-handed.
That's left-handed.
Yeah. That's the top hand when you bat left-handed. Big third down coming up for the Turks.
Caden Hardwick, couple yards.
Caden with a couple hard yards. Fourth down coming up. Punting unit comes out.
I see the decent grandparents on from Texas. We miss you guys. Miss seeing you at the games.
I'm going to see if the Brian Bunch is on there. I'm just still logging on to YouTube right now to see if we've got the Brian Bunch on there.
Nice punt.
No.
It's going to be Johnny Petrus with the 70-yard punt return for a touchdown for Cedar Park.
Johnny Petrus, a 5'10", 170-pound senior for Cedar Park. We've called his name a whole bunch over the last few years. We got some locals and we got some not so locals. I see the Hardwicks are on again this week. Welcome to the broadcast. Extra point coming up.
That PAT's good.
Well, we got another Windmill Espresso kickoff coming up. Windmill Espresso for all of your espresso drink needs as you go through town here in Sultan. You can't miss it. It has a giant windmill on top of it.
It does.
And on your way back, if you're hungry for a burger, we have Vic's Burger Shack. We're right across the street from the windmill, and you can get your burger on your way here. And as the students here tell me all the time, it's good eating.
It is.
It is good eating.
Very popular.
Oh, it's so good to hear the drum line back, and it feels like, Matt, it feels like a crisp fall night.
This does feel like a regular fall football night. It's going to get cool, but yeah, 2 weeks ago, last home game, that was an odd weather night. We don't usually get those in the fall. That's a spring night.
Yeah, the rain definitely made a difference there in this one. So kickoff coming up here for the Turks. Oh, Andy Sam's on the broadcast, everybody. Welcome, Andy. Andy Sam. Dave Moon says hello.
So I think Andy Sam's going to have some interest in the Turk football team next year. You know why?
Why is that?
He has a brother who's an 8th grader who's going to be up here next year.
It's an onside kick.
Uh-oh.
And it looks like, of course, everybody's going to point their way.
I'm hearing a white ball.
That looks like the Turks have recovered.
All right, Hardwick's got it. That must have been a Cedar Park coach yelling white ball.
Yeah. So you said Kings ran a spread formation last week.
Yeah, a lot of passing, and really They didn't kill us passing. They ran out of it. We had a tough time stopping them. A lot faster than we were.
All right. Well, we came out throwing. What do we got? What do we got going? And for all of the Cedar Park Christian fans that are on here today, welcome to the broadcast. Sergeant's going to call timeout. Something he didn't like. And while the Turks talk about it, you know, I'm saying welcome to the broadcast to our Cedar Park Christian fans that are here watching it. And I will let you know ahead of time. I will recognize good play when I see it, but I am unabashedly hashtag Turks first.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I do enjoy a good Friday night lights football game.
I'm excited to see what the governor's announcement yesterday means for the future next few weeks. Because the way I read it, in 2 weeks, our next home game, we should be able to have 400 people.
Yeah, that's the way I read it.
Which really is, I mean, it's double, but the athletes already there. It's probably about 3 times the crowd that we have now. So I know they're discussing how that's going to look.
We have one of our Cedar Park fans saying thanks for sharing your live feed, and you're very, very welcome.
On the ground, right back up to Hardwick. Big loss, but it could have been worse.
They could have got the ball back then.
So third down at the 22-yard line. Loss of 20 on that one, 19 on that one.
Well, that's not quite the start the Turks were hoping for. We got 7:25 left to go here in the first period. I don't think we have a play in our playbook for second and 30 or third and 30 or whatever it is. I think it's second and 30. You just hope to get maybe 15 yards on the first play, and then this is usually a good time for a screen pass. Throwing the ball to none other than Kobe Keeler, and unable to corral that. Time for a reverse or a screen and see if you can pop something. If not, looks like we'll be punting again. And I think I'd be telling that young man to punt it out of bounds. Late substitutions by Cedar Park.
Third and long. Deep pass for Feltner and incomplete. They'll bring up fourth down.
One thing I will say about Mr. Sargent, he does not suffer for arm strength.
No, he's got great arm.
He's got a nice arm out there. And time to punt again. Oh, Blake Torres, I hate to tell you this, but no matter what the score is by the end of the night, I will unabashedly be hashtag Turks first. Turks punting again. Unable to get the punt off.
High snap there. Goes down at about the 12-yard line where Cedar Park will take over. Nobi banged up his finger on that last pass reception, so he wasn't in there for that long snap. Turks.
Turks on defense. Hand it off to you for a few moments, Matt.
You got it. Well, we got 1st and 10, actually just outside the 10. Yeah, we'll say the 12-yard line. Ball's handed off to number 12. C.H. Chapman. Keeler on the tackle for the Turks. After a gain of about 3 yards, it'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Gain of about 4 yards, it'll be 2nd and 6.
I got 2 more. Red Bulls are so expensive.
Cedar Park sets up in their more
I got
traditional
32.
wing tee there. Quarterback, I believe, kept it. See the handoff on that. Gain of about 3 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for Cedar Park.
Remember, fans, if you have relatives or friends at home who
Ball's placed at the 5. Officially, we'll go with 3rd and 3 for Cedar Park.
for your live stream this evening, powered by Sultan High School Broadcast Club.
Yeah, like I make blue raspberry watermelon Italian red ones.
Sweep around the end to number 1.
Put your own flavor.
That's Matthew Duffy, senior,
Well, like
for the touchdown. 5 yards on that touchdown run for Cedar Park. Caleb Thomas, the sophomore kicker for Cedar Park, up for the PAT. Illegal substitution here. I think got too many guys in the huddle for Cedar Park. They'll move him back 5 yards. Next week, the Turks travel to South Whidbey.
And how is our friends on the island doing this year, Matt?
Yeah, look into that. Haven't heard much.
Extra point coming up. Snap, kick up, and good.
South Whidbey, Granite, and Sultan are kind of the 3. Well, I guess Kings would be in there as well. The holdovers from the old Cascade League.
Yeah. Well, we've had, the old, holdovers from Cascade League. We were in the, what league were we in?
North Cascades Conference.
Yeah.
That was one way I think we went with everybody up north.
Right.
But, yeah, back in my days, we had the Kings, Granite, Sultan, South Whidbey, or Langley, as they were referred to back then.
Langley, yeah, before they built a new high school over on South Welton.
Yep, and then Lakewood High School was, but they kind of grew. They've grown a lot. And then Tolt, which is now Cedar Crest.
Kickoff coming. Watch out. Oh, looks like we put the hands team at the front here. I see Jeremy Ripley at the front there. I see Caden Hardyards at the front there. So looks like they've made a little bit of a change. And I see number 33, Jonathan Van Pelt up there at the front too. He is a freshman.
I've been a coach long enough
5'0", 176-pound freshman. That's a bit of a chunk. Yeah, 5 foot tall, 176 pounds. I hope that guy wrestles.
So in answer to your question, South Whitby doesn't look like they've played a game yet. I know they got a little bit of a late start getting cleared for phase 2.
Felton around the corner. He's still going.
Out to the 37. He had a nice return last week as well.
That, ladies and gentlemen, number 17, Derek Feltner, 5'10", 150-pound wide receiver freshman for the Turks.
Yes. Four-sport athlete.
Well, I've watched him wrestle. I've watched him play baseball, and now I've watched him play football, and I am impressed.
So I've given him a hard time over the years about wrestling versus basketball. So he came out and played in 7th grade for basketball. And on a very good, nearly undefeated middle school basketball team, one of the better groups we've had come through, he started as a 7th grader, having not played since he was, like 2nd grade. Just a good athlete. Great kid.
No gain there for the Turks.
So I have to get back to the camera. What's up?
Looks like Zane Saylor trying to navigate through the rapids there.
Short gain on that. Less than a yard maybe.
4:35 left to go in the first period. Turks down by 2 touchdowns.
Hardwick again, I think, up the middle.
Caden Hardyards up the middle, and boy, those hards are really hard to come by right now.
Yes, they are.
If you look at the front line for Cedar Park, you've got number 55, Joel Schrobeck. He is a 6'2", 190-pound junior.
They just brought in Jaron Stroud, 6'1" freshman, 190 pounds.
You've got 42 Gage Hartley. He is a senior up there. So they've got some experience up front, it looks like. Oh, that didn't quite go as planned.
That was Weston Bauer.
Yep. Weston Bauer on the reverse. It's going to be 4th down for the Turks.
Weston had a really nice game playing at Kings. 4 or 5 very nice punts.
That's a decent high school punt right there.
Don't want to punt it to him, though.
But just not a lot of hang time on that. You'd almost, if they're going to get returns like that every time, you'd almost be better off just going for it.
Yeah, definitely want to angle your punts.
2:48 left to go here in this first period.
It's placed at the 40-yard line of the Turks.
One of the things you'll notice is TurkPride.tv has been very, very busy this year. I know we've done a lot of recording on the away games for people, and that's been nice to see.
12 up the middle. C.H. Chapman, 205-pound senior.
5'11", 205-pound senior. Yeah, that's a decent-sized kid right there. I'm pretty excited at that that tackle there. That's some pretty good tackling by the Turks. Gain of 4 on that. Yeah, we got.
Did he go over there and do that? Josh Steve, yep, recent graduate.
The pass is going to be incomplete.
Bring up 3rd and 6.
So, all of you out there, if you are watching this and you are there, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like it and you hit that subscribe button. We've got 142 on the stream right now. We've got several on Facebook, but right now 145 people on 145 people, 146. Yeah. Welcome to the broadcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Nice job. Oh boy.
Penalty.
Little
Looks
bit.
to be a hold, kind of where the flag was thrown.
Looks like for the Turks, looked like number 21, Ivan Rodriguez, was in on that action.
So here's the hard part. Do you take the hold, go 3rd and 16, or do you go 4th down and make it 4th and 2? I mean, I think they're going to take the hold, but as many yards as Cedar Park is getting on the ground, giving them 2 plays to get a first down.
Well,
Tough to do.
and in this instance, you got your corners and your linebackers. You have to contain. You cannot let somebody. They're going to look past, but you have to be on the lookout for that sweep. And this is always a good time for one of those pitch halfback passes or something like that. That's usually something that works in this situation. But
well, you got to contain. You got somebody in that second level's got to make the tackle once they get them pushed back in. I mean, that punt return we had to contain. They just went up the middle and then cut out.
Oh, number 9, Zane Sailor.
Ooh.
Little bit of extracurricular activity there after the play is over.
Some good hard running and a nice stick.
Right at the end there. I see our none other than number 52, Tyler Deason was in on the action on that. What a great story that is. .43 seconds left to go. We're probably going to get. Oh, goes over his head.
Bad snap. He might. He's down. No, he's down.
He's down right there.
Yeah. He got the punt off, but he was on his knees. Took him a while to call that. Back at the 26-yard line. Turks will take over 1st and 10.
With 35 seconds left to go.
Definitely the best field position of the night for the Turks.
While we wait for the Turks to come out here, now we will have a league playoffs at the end, where 1 versus 2 and 3 versus 4, and of course 5 gets to stay home. But there's nothing else after that this year, is there?
No, and if you make that round, it's going to be interesting too, because it's going to go into your spring sports season, which is already short. So in theory, you could play a game Friday night and then have a game on Monday for baseball.
Hopefully they'll shorten the practice rule on that.
You get to count your practices.
Hit the ground there.
You get to count your practices for football, and you only need 5 practices to get eligible.
Well, that's good. That's good.
But still, it's going to be rough coming off of the football field with no practice. And hopefully they're going to get some throwing in that week or
Well,
two.
baseball is, you among all people understand that hitting a baseball, a lot of it is timing, and it's being on time and getting those reps in before you get out there.
Well, just from an arm standpoint, getting your arm in shape. I mean, some of these kids that are out here, at least 2 of them on our offense, are going to be 2 of our top pitchers. And so if you haven't been throwing them, they're going to have to find time to throw on the side and get their throwing in.
Second down coming up.
Sailor on the win. Not Sailor, sorry. Bauer.
Yeah, the pursuit by the Eagles is really, really good right now.
Weston's had a nice start to his season. He's a kid who last year was a freshman in his first year playing football. And starting both ways now as a sophomore with no off season. Good athlete. Really good athlete. He's grown probably 5-6 inches since last year.
And that's the end of our first quarter right there. So we're gonna reset and do it again. You know, you just can't be a TurkPride.tv broadcast unless you thank some of the many people that help make this happen. We want to thank the support from Superintendent Dan Chaplick, Principal Sarita Whitmire-Skeeve, Assistant Principal Ryan Malone, Athletic Director Scott Sifferman, who I think is related to the Energizer Bunny, and Athletic Secretary Debbie Ellis, Band Director Jill Sumter. Thank you for having the drum line here tonight. Sports Medicine Supervisor Brandy Varnell, always such a big part of what we do here at Sultan High School. And our sports technicians and the students in the Sports Medicine class. Our Tech Club Advisor, a.k.a. Dave Moon, and the Tech Club students from TurkPride.tv. As always, hit that subscribe button. We're at 137 watching right now.
Hey, so can we bring more of the band back if we move up to 400 people in 2 weeks? I mean, are they practicing, ready to go? Well, I mean, but they count in the 200, so that's going to stay the same. We should be able to have an additional 200 people.
Well, I know there was a whole lot of excited parents out there tonight saying, I got to go watch a football game.
Although that wouldn't count the personnel, staff, players, I would think. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. I mean, I would think you could have 262 in the grandstands, and everybody else who's part of the event staff wouldn't count in that 262. That would be part, like you said, the 200. Which means we're not going to get near that 400, but still. As it is right now, I believe we got 58 people.
Sergeant just
58 tickets they're selling.
The sergeant just doesn't have the time to throw.
So you could get another 200 out of it and still be at that 250-ish.
So on fourth and 12, what do you run? You know, do you
28. Well,
do you try to throw the ball again when you don't have the time, or do you try to do a sweep? You run.
Tough one. Our best passing play this year has just been the quick, short little screens.
Yep. Yeah, we saw that a lot against Granite Falls. And
they're going to be playing for that here.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the double-edged swords of having TurkPride.tv is the ability for the other teams to scout you. So we got Kate Hardyards in the backfield with Mr. Sargent.
Well, that's as good as a punt. It goes out.
Well, post the Turks there to, but you know, you can't blame. I don't believe in blaming him on that. He had to get rid of the ball and try to make something happen there.
That was Will Chi on the interception there, a senior for Cedar Park. And in the end, we gained a yard. I think we're at the 28, now we're at the 27, first and 10.
We've got Gavin Lasby's on the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast, Gavin. Hey, is any of Brian's bunch out there today? Let's identify yourselves, tell you where you are. I know we got Andy Sam out there. I'm looking for my Derek Bergman. Are you out there today, bud?
I saw him in a volleyball stream earlier this week.
Oh, he might even be in town? Oh, no, he was on the volleyball stream. Okay. Well, we are number one entertainment in Nebraska.
Yes, absolutely. Except I'm pretty sure in Nebraska you can go and tour the stadium and watch the
Yeah. He's got the triple B's for the boys, and now they've got a beautiful young girl in that family now too. And so, how exciting it is for them to be a young family just starting up. Second down coming up for the Eagles. Nice D by the Turks on that last play. Jet Torres, is a 5'11", 150-pound sophomore, is the quarterback on the play for the Eagles on that.
Weston Bauer on the sack. Tackle for loss.
Big old 3rd and 15 coming up. Keep an eye on number 11, Mr. Johnny Petrus over there on the left. Derek didn't quite get him.
Got another penalty flag.
I think that's coming back for holding here, guys. I think he's either blocking the back or holding on that last play. So we'll see what happens here.
Caden Webster came up with a lane on that play as well.
So block in the back against Cedar Park, so it's going to come back. All right, you know, Gazizilla, I'm afraid to ask what poggers are, so just stop. Yeah. Oh, that's good for a first down on that.
That was Brandon Parrish, senior for Cedar Park. Gain of 20 yards on that play.
Yeah, we are excited for baseball season 2 here at TurkPride.tv. I do know that over the years the Cedar Park Christian baseball team has had some of their baseball players have run through the Atkinson Baseball Academy in Quint.
So when you tackle him,
Blake Tread up. Finally.
held onto his feet. All right.
Finally, I'm not the one getting banned. Okay, Blake.
11 yards on that last run. It's good for another Cedar Park first down.
Yeah, I'm making new friends today, Matt.
Will Chi on that last carry.
I'm making new friends online today.
For Cedar Park being looked at here by the training staff. 20 Brandon Parrish.
Oh, Mr. Parrish is nailed down. That's not good.
To me, kind of like a cram. He's running off the field.
So, let me see if I can. I don't know if I have the ability to ban right now. Get some. Well, let's just put him in timeout. Put Gizzyzilla in timeout for a little while. Maybe he'll behave himself afterwards. He is trying to apologize in whatever language he's trying to speak.
Are we sure? I can't tell. I know he's not one of our Sultan regulars.
No, he is not. There, you've been put in timeout. Oh boy. Oh.
Nice effort there by Bauer. Just about got to him.
Matt Duffy, a 5'11", 165-pound senior for the Eagles on the touchdown there.
A lot of senior running backs. But the fourth or fifth one, it seems.
So we've got unofficial AI on the broadcast. I love your little thing N7. That's from Mass Effect, right? Yes, it is. I know that. Just a little pop culture reference for you guys.
I'm completely lost.
Oh.
You got to explain that one to me.
I've never watched it, and that just makes me sad, doesn't it? So,
PAT's good.
PAT's good, so we are looking at with 8:33 left to go in the second period. Cedar Park Christian 21, the Sultan Turks 0. Now, see, I was looking at the schedule. I believe the Lady Turks volleyball is at Northwest Christian tonight.
I saw that.
So junior varsity,
1-1.
the varsity is 1-1, one match apiece going into the third period. Good for them. Got to win two before you got to win two. You both win. So Windmill Espresso coming up. Windmill Espresso kickoff coming up for the Turks. The Eagles are going to kick off to the Turks here. Feldner.
Back at the 10. A block or two. Tackle out of bounds to the 26-yard line.
Well, anytime you get that kick off that deep to the 26-yard line, you've done well. It feels like a crisp fall night.
It does.
Oh, Ebro, be nice. He's all right. Just not being nice.
And Turks will take over 1st and 10 at their 26-yard line. Fumbled snap. Recovered by Cedar Park.
That's just not what we're looking for there.
Not sure we ever got that snap.
Well, I've been seeing. It's getting a little chippy out there.
It is.
It's getting a little chippy out there. So.
If I remember correctly, the last games of the year last year at Cedar Park, it got pretty chippy too.
Yeah, it's
a couple of ambulance rides for players. And much closer game. It was a one-score game at the end of the year last year. And they had problems with the snap there as well. But picks it up, gives it off to their running back number 12, C.H. Chapman. 26 yards and touchdown run.
C.H. Chapman, 5'11", 205-pound senior.
It was like all the way up here.
So with 8:16 left to go, and the extra point still to go, the Eagles are up by 4 touchdowns. And the extra point is good.
Jack, shut the camera off. Apparently that's what we did with the other camera and it started working again.
We may be cruising to a lot faster second half than we were anticipating.
Yeah, this is about where we were last week at the Kings, and then they put in some of their bench, and pretty good last 2.5 quarters. Looking at Cedar Park, they don't have as deep a bench, but they've definitely got. They're about the same as this, about 22, 25 kids. It looks like.
Yeah, you're looking at they've got five or six more kids on their roster than we do, but it's pretty comparable with the numbers.
Kings had mid-30s and had a freshman quarterback that they played the last 2.5 quarters. Did really well. I remember him last year from 8th grade where he did really well as well.
Yeah, well, man, Kings has always got a freshman quarterback in their back pocket that does really well.
They also had a kicker who could kick the ball out of the end zone. Felton with a nice return.
Well,
Brought down though, 17-yard line.
Well, we give Friday. You know what? I'd rather have Friday Night Lights than anything else in the world right now. So this is just. I'm here in my happy place watching our Turks play football. And this is the first. This was the. Well, we'll have to play by the Turks here. Then we can talk about other sports here for just a second.
Oh. Look at that Zane. That hit pretty hard right at the line of scrimmage.
This is my first. I was going to let you know, Matt. This is my first year since 2006 that I have not been a part of a Sky Valley Wrestling tournament.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, we had it last year.
That was right about the time things closed up,
and then
right?
we closed things down right afterwards. And then this is my first year not doing a tournament since 2006.
Been a lot of firsts this year.
Yeah.
A weird no shindig, fair, 3-on-3 tournament, homecoming. Feels like we're starting to get some things back, though. I mean, wrestling's going to happen. Could we still have a tournament?
No tournaments is what I'm hearing.
What if we had an outdoor wrestling tournament?
Oh, you know, that would be a lot of fun. We'd put the mat and
Go to Osprey Park and do the undercover area?
or even just do it here in the middle of the football field.
Well, I was just thinking for weather, you
Yeah.
potentially. But you could do it on the football field for sure.
Well, that reminds me, I'd love to share this wrestling story with you that I think is just really, really cool here.
I'll play it. Alright.
Pass is thrown out of bounds. That may be a grounding. Haven't seen anything called yet. Doesn't look like they're going to... yeah, that's intentional grounding, and that's back in the end zone, so that should be a safety.
Yep.
So, Rachel, more home games. Yeah, there's one more home game in 2 weeks. According to the announcement yesterday, we should be able to up attendance. Now, that being said, it's always a league and then also district decision on how that works. So, I'm sure those discussions are going on right now. I mean, you look at like the Wesco League, they've got no fans at anything. Technically they could, but they've chosen not to. So I would imagine we will find out here in the coming days how that will affect our last home game in 2
Hey, you
weeks.
got my number?
Mess up all the younger players. One day a week, everyone gets sets.
Getting on the cool, logging on to help moderate these yahoos.
Oh, Turk's back to punt again. Weston there. Let's see if he angles this one a little bit more for the sideline.
Someone's making the game.
That's
48-yard line.
alrighty.
And hey, Derek Feltner came up there and made a nice tackle. We got a little bit of extracurricular stuff happening at the back of the play, though. There's a penalty flag thrown. We got a personal foul against the Turks. Not sure if that was offsetting personal fouls, but I know they at least pointed towards the Turks.
All right. So it wasn't a safety, huh?
No, they didn't call it a safety. Or as I said, he threw it before he went in there. I was pretty sure it was in the end zone when he threw it. But well, looks like they've penalized Cedar Park.
No, I told you it was getting a little chippy out there. And I didn't get to see the call here.
Well, Hardwick and somebody was exchanging some pushes in the backfield. Pretty sure they called the penalty on us, but maybe it was offset. Anyway, Cedar Park will take over on the Turk 33-yard line, 1st and 10.
Nice
tackle.
job. Oh, well. So we got hard yards and Sailor over there just right in there on the tackle on that.
So I don't know about you. I couldn't see the number on the tackle, but I watched the contact and I knew who it was.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the ball carrier found out who it was.
Well,
too.
you know, you've been watching these young men play football since they were little.
Right.
You know, you actually can recognize them just by how they run. You know.
Yeah. It's great that these kids are getting an opportunity to finish out on the field. It wasn't quite what they expected for a senior year, but it's something. And it's something that a couple months ago we didn't think was going to happen. So.
There he goes around the end again.
Zane on another tackle. Touchdown saving tackle there, and some words exchanged again afterwards down at the 16-yard line.
Well, that's C.H. Chapman, I tell you, he is he's dancing with the stars out there. He's very speedy and very quick, and doesn't need a whole lot to make you miss.
Well, and fresh. It's nice with this offense and as many running backs as you have to be able to rotate 5 or 6 guys through that are all pretty similar skill set. That's quite an advantage. And you look at our squad, we got about 12 kids playing both ways.
Oh, yeah. Look at that, number 5.
Weston's been in on a lot of plays.
Weston with a nice defensive play. Played the ball there. And don't you dare anybody tell me that's pass interference, because that wasn't even close.
That was good.
That's my homer coming out. Oh, man.
2nd and 10 here, 16. Petrus this time.
I'll do my best. I'll go see
Around
if I can
the
get one of the cheerleaders.
yard to gain.
Zilla,
11
you
yards.
have gotten your wish. You are in timeout.
All right.
Is there a time limit on these timeouts, or is 300 seconds?
Yeah.
And it doesn't you don't add to it. It's 300 seconds every time.
I could have just banned him all together, but you know. Third inches coming up here. And it's another touchdown.
Parrish
for the
on that
Eagles.
touchdown run.
We have 5 minutes left to go here in the second period, and it's the Eagles a bunch and the Turks not a lot.
So by my count, we're at 127 points for the Cedar Park in 2.5 games. To 0. That's the second time they've been penalized on PAT, though.
Well, somebody thinks they're supposed to be on the field. This is a decent kicker. I think that Caleb Thomas, he is a 5'9" sophomore kicker punter. So now a lot of these kids played. A lot of these kids, they come from the Juanita. Well, this comes from the Juanita Bothell area. A lot of these kids would have gone to Inglemore or Bothell or Lake Washington.
We always seem like there's a Monroe kid or two who ends up here as well.
Yep. And I know a lot of them played their midget football for the North Shore Youth Football League.
I've always thought for entertainment purposes, it would be entertaining to see rosters of these private schools should have the hometowns listed. Interesting to see just geographically
Well,
where
just
they're all located.
which high school would they have gone to? But we go into different territory when we start talking that. But
I mean, we could say this kid's from startup, the other kid's from
yeah. Well, that's one of my favorite things that we do at the Sky Valley Invitational every year is we for the kids that are on that aren't the varsity starters for Sultan, they get to enter the tournament, and we're the startup stingers and the gold bar miners and those kind of guys, and we just love it, and it's a badge of pride for these kids that they were a startup stinger at the Sky Valley Invitational.
An onside kick up 35-0. Wow. They really just did that.
Oh, I
guess they gave us the ball at the 40-something, but usually you don't onside when you're up 35.
Well, thank you, Mr. Unofficial AI. We'll try to see if we can pump the volume up a little bit there. Just let us know if this is a little better. We're trying to remain socially distanced and keep our masks on. And, okay, I think we just bumped it up a little bit. Thanks for letting us know.
Well, I'm pretty sure that last kickoff will not do a lot for the extracurricular stuff.
No.
And
it's kind of like in a basketball game, you're pressing when you're up by 30 points. What do you do? I mean, I get it. I get it, and if we were playing Madden, it'd be different,
But hey, we'll take the ball at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10.
Well, we'll see if we can get a little bit louder volume for you guys. I'm going to turn my mic up just a little bit here. See if that helps a little bit. Yeah. Oh, sounds good now. Thank you. Thanks, guys. We always appreciate the input so that we can dial in our broadcast here at TurkPride.tv.
So we had a loss of a yard on Zane's last carry. So we're at 2nd and 11 for the Turks.
There we go. At this point, don't you have to go for it no matter what? I mean,
well, we haven't been real effective on
punting
a
the
punting
ball.
game. I mean, we've had some nice punts. Our coverage hasn't been there. Either that or we punt on 3rd down when they're not expecting it. I've seen that.
Well, you do a quick hit, line up like you're going to go for it, and then just have him punt it,
Stradliner leaving to the sideline a little bit there. 3rd down and 13. Turks a little bit late getting their lineup out there. Oh, that's a high snap. Sargent falls on it.
Yeah, that's not what quite we were looking for.
Well, I don't think you go for it here. At 4th and 30, 32. If we get a bad snap, though, let's kick this thing out of the end zone and take the safety. We don't want to fall on it on the 5 and give them 5 yards for a touchdown.
You know, normally when we're doing this, I have one of my family members at home, and they text me and go, "I can hear you, I can't hear you," but they're a little preoccupied tonight. So
timeout for the Turks there.
And I do tend to look at the chat quite a bit.
Well, it's a lot easier this week. Last week we were having such bad connection. I didn't want to have the browser up while the streaming thing was playing, so I'm kind of watching it on my phone while I'm doing it. So it's nice to have it with the laptop here in front of us.
Well, I was able to tune in while I was at work and see your work and hear your work. All right. And here coming up we're going to have a halftime here in 2 minutes, and we'll take a break and then bring you back the second half action. But we normally take a break for halftime just to make sure that everything's going okay.
All right, here we go. 4th down, lined up for the punt here. We've had some interesting plays on our punts on both sides, actually. Gets it away. We got to work on our directional punting, but that one didn't bounce.
Well, that was Weston that punted that.
Oh, he's been punting. Occasionally they've had Hunter Stradliner out there punting as well. I think week 1 they did, but last week and this week it's pretty much been Weston. Both of them with soccer backgrounds. Turks will see if we can keep them out of the end zone here. Head off to the half.
By the way, Dave gave me moderator status, everybody.
Oh.
Behave yourselves. We are a family oriented show. Penalty on Cedar Park. What do we do here? Well, number 7's still in at quarterback. Jet Torres is still in at quarterback.
Sophomore.
You betcha.
And that was Chapman carrying for about 7 yards. Maybe 8 yards for Cedar Park. Well, one thing that's been cool about the progression of Turk Pride TV over the last 8, 9, 10 years is the prevalence of smart TVs.
Yes, absolutely.
It feels like you're just watching a normal game, that you're watching on cable. Whereas I remember the first, when you guys first started up, you pulling out your laptop and trying to watch the game. It was fine, but Zane with a nice stick
wow,
there.
nice tackle by
Gonna be
Zane on that.
Close to the first down. Looks like he's a little short. Be third down.
All righty. He's going to throw. Wow. he hucked that one.
He did.
That was a nice strong arm on that. He threw that about, oh, my goodness, 10, 20, 35 yards on that.
That was a nice ball. That'll bring up fourth down.
Oh, yeah, and I think they're going to go for it.
Watch the ball.
Oh, there he goes. Feldner on the tackle on that. No, that was
Petrus on the carry.
number 51 for the Turks.
Chaz Bush.
Chaz Bush. Chaz is a 6'2", 200-pound lineman. We have a request out there to see if we could get a little closer with the camera, and we can barely get him to follow the ball. No, they're doing a great job tonight. They're doing a fantastic job tonight. Oh, that's number 1, Matthew Duffy.
Tackled by Sailor. We got a timeout for Cedar Park there with 11 seconds in the half.
He overthrew a Jeep just so you would talk about his arm strength. All right, Blake. That was an impressive throw by the sophomore. I'll tell you, he just boom. He didn't have a whole lot of time to throw and to time it, but boy, he sure hooked it. At 154, Dave. So, how's our subscriptions going? Are we? Yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Even if I banned you, hit that subscribe button. Oh, we broke 1,000. Thank you very much. That's a huge thing for us at TurkPride.tv. Break 1,000 subscriptions. Oh, ball comes out.
A fumble on the play. It's going to be recovered at the 2 and a timeout.
I don't think they're going to give him the time. They're going to give him the timeout here. I thought time had expired.
That's the half.
So we are ready to go to the half with the Cedar Park Christian Eagles a lot and the Turks not very much. So we'll see you guys here in 15 minutes, and we will be back here on the air bringing you the action here live from Sultan on TurkPride.tv. As always, #TurksFirst. And we are back, everybody. We have second half action coming for you here. We've got the Windmill Espresso kickoff coming up here in just a few moments here on TurkPride.tv. Welcome back to the broadcast. I see we're bumping back up in numbers. We're back to over 130 viewers right now. Nothing better than Friday Night Lights, and it is getting a little chilly out there, guys. I left my coat in the car, so I get to chill here with you. As always, I'm Coach Brian, a.k.a. the voice of the Turks, bringing you the action here alongside my partner tonight with Matt Keeler. So, Turks are warming up here. We got about, looks like we're going to get another 2 minutes here before the Turks are going to take the field. So, as they warm up, it is they granted them a couple extra minutes. So, but we'll be bringing you the action here in just a little bit. And here we go. We are back for some football action. Kickoff coming for the Caleb Thomas ready to kick it off for the Eagles. And of course, none other than Mr. Feltner is going to be back deep for the Turks. And we get to call him for the next 3 years after this. Oops.
And next year will be in about 6 months. Feltner tackled back at the 15.
Yeah, he mishandled that one a little bit. Just mishandled that ball a little bit. And not very good starting field position for the Turks coming out of the half. Just for the Turks' sake, I want them to go down there and score, you know. Get some points on the board. This is what these boys sacrifice for all week long. Wow. They're playing bump coverage.
Zane tackled for a loss. Whistle was blown. Play was ruled dead before the fumble.
That's not the direction you want to be going.
That'll bring up 2nd and 15 for the Turks.
And coming right up here. Try that one.
That should be better.
Yeah, we can't quite hear Matt, so we'll see if we can get him ironed out here. Try to say something, Matt. Make sure that
was Hardwick on that last carry. Gain of a yard on the play.
just a little bit more.
And it'll be 3rd and 14 for the Turks here at the just outside the 15, about the 14-yard line.
And goes down for the sack. Yeah, much better. Thank you, Cheryl. We're happy to be here on TurkPride.tv, bringing you the action here tonight.
It'll be 4th and 20 for the Turks.
141 people watching. Thank you so much. Be sure to go on and hit that subscribe button. We've been working on this for 10 plus years. We finally got over 1,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel.
Okay, we've got a little bit off directional that time. Off to the side. We got a
Good
nice
job.
tackle.
Who was that masked man?
Aiden Masterjohn, freshman Aiden Masterjohn. A nice tackle.
Masterjohn for the tackle. Nice job. Nice open field tackle by the young freshman.
A 6'1" freshman.
6'1", 145-pound. I almost said wrestler instead of freshman, but you know me. You have your love of basketball, and I have my love of wrestling. Believe it or not, I was a gym rat growing up. I played basketball.
Hardwick runs him out of bounds after a 5-yard gain.
Oh.
This is where it usually gets chippy.
Yeah.
A nice tackle.
Yeah, nice tackle out of bounds. Reminds me a little bit of the blindside tackle where he took the guy out of the stands that
Yeah.
was going in that direction. Just
And he started the tackle before he got out of bounds.
it is getting a little bit chippy. Yeah, so lots of testosterone going on out there. Turks are fighting for their home field, and
Well, regardless of the score, the last couple of games, these guys are excited to just be out there. For the seniors, is one last chance to get out there and play.
what
And
do we got going here? Looks like we got an illegal procedure.
younger kids, they're getting ready for another season in 6 months.
Well, I wonder what that does. What that does to the youngsters. I mean, I'm a firm believer in going, playing multiple sports, and you're here for the experience. I was one of those dads where, no, you don't go on the car home. I don't care if I drove to your game or not. You're going home on the bus with the other kids.
Part of the experience.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's part of the experience, and that's why you're there, and
Yeah, it's funny. My son came home a couple days ago, and he goes, "It's something I kind of took for granted, riding the bus home, and for some reason, it's relaxing. For whatever reason." But I remember him as a freshman. He wanted to ride home with us, and now you're going to ride the bus. And now, if I ask him, he doesn't want to ride home with us. He wants to ride the bus. So
yeah, it's part. It is part of the experience. And and one of the exciting things for me is when these kids go through the program, and this is I'm in my 20th year in the Sky since I moved to the Sky Valley, and working on 21 years in the Sky Valley, and I've lived here longer here than I have anywhere else in my life, and I've now seen 4 or 5 different 5 different groups of kids go through it from freshmen to seniors here at the high school.
And it's kind of fun to see the siblings come through too.
Yeah, another one of my favorite things is when you get a kid comes in and he's got this name, and you look at the last name and you go, oh, I recognize that name.
Right.
And you find out it's the son of a former player, or the grandson of a former player from like the 60s or this
Right.
and it's cool to see. Well, thank you, William Costanzo. I wish they could play a little longer too, and I wish they had a little more playoffs. I think the Cedar Park Christian team would do well in the playoffs this year for the WIAA for the 1A schools.
Hey, and he's down in Mesa. We're going to be down in Mesa next week for a baseball tournament.
Whoa! Caden Hardyards shoots the gap on 4th down and gets him in the backfield. What a play! We are working on the sound. We moved into our new digs here. We got a couple of storage containers and put them on top of each other, put some windows in it, and we moved across the stadium. And our sound we're still working on making sure that it's a lot better off. If you like what you see, or even if you don't like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. We're over 1,000, so now every time we get a certain amount of views, we get a little bit of TurkPride.tv gets a little bit back. Hopefully that goes in the end zone, young man. There you go.
Yep.
Good job.
So the Turks will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20.
We've got 6:30 left to go here in the 3rd period. So we get. You were saying that the next set of sports is going to be the spring sports, the baseball, the boys soccer, golf, track field.
Yep. We hired a track and field coach from Cedar Crest, I believe. Fast pitch softball. So that practice starts up 2 weeks from Monday.
2 weeks from Monday. Now the Turks have 2 more games.
At least 2.
They
have the playoff thing that they could be in, and if they aren't in the playoff, they may potentially play somebody from, I believe, the Nisqually League. It'll be interesting what happens at that point.
Well,
I mean, you'd like to get another game, definitely.
Well, play as many games as you can, as quick as you can.
Same time, you look out there, and at least half of these kids are spring athletes, and so as a group, you got to decide: do you want another week of football and lose out a week of spring sports, or can you do both? I know Mr. Sifferman talked about potentially maybe playing that last game on a Wednesday or Thursday, which would free them up a little bit sooner to start their spring sport. We've done Thursdays before. Wednesdays might be a little bit of a stretch, but Hardwick up the middle, no gain on the play.
Well, like I said, those yards are hard to come by.
Be 3rd and 5 for the Turks.
Big play coming up. Big play coming up for the Turks here in just a sec. I always say big play. I know. They're all big plays.
We got the Turks are in shotgun here.
There's the blitz is coming.
Pass was incomplete. A little bit of a high snap. I think they were actually going to run the sweep out of that. But by the time he came down with it, they had already he'd already made it pass, and so I think he was just getting rid of the ball. Looks like the officials are going to say there was somebody in the area, so no grounding on that one.
Well, time to punt the ball again. So we've got 4:49 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hard Yards is back there. He's the protector. Oh boy, that's just not. Oh boy, Adventures in Punting. It's back. Yeah, we've read that book before.
So Cedar Park will take over 1st and 10 at the Turk 15-yard line. So I discovered an interesting thing last home game. I was doing chains, and I would say 98% of the times the officials mark the ball on the yard line. It doesn't matter if it's halfway in between or not. They're keeping it on the, if it's the 40 and a half, they're putting it on the 41. I don't know if it's just for ease of measuring or what, but
oh, what a catch! Oh my goodness.
That's a touchdown reception for number 1, Matthew Duffy. And that is a 15-yard touchdown reception.
Yeah, he just reached up in the air and he pulled that thing down. Yeah, that was a very, very athletic catch. So there's a highlight for those guys. And that puts us in a new territory.
Yeah, I think it's 45 for football. 40 for basketball.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here in just when we get to the next kickoff.
And Cedar Park has yet to allow a score in 3 weeks. So, hey, that's something to shoot for here for the Turks, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Put one in the end zone. Not a lot, like we talked about earlier, not a real deep bench for Cedar Park. So if they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it against Cedar Park's best players.
Well, now, we're not playing any JV games this year.
Not in our league. Yeah. I know Wesco's doing JV.
Well, that's good to hear. The Wesco has, we just don't have enough players to would we have had enough players to fill the JV squad this year?
No, we're I think we're 25, 26 kids, and looking over there on the bench right now, yeah, there's about 11, 12 kids over there.
I remember back when I was coaching here, we had a C team, we had a JV team, we had a varsity team, and when the year started, we were at like 85 kids. That's back when we were 2A.
Right.
I don't think we finished the season at 85 kids, but that's an awful lot of kids to come out of a 2A school. You know, to have 85 kids turn out for football.
Well, and I tell you, as a middle school coach, I'm really concerned about what numbers are going to look like if we can have a season next year. I mean, no season this year. We were already looking at, less than 25 kids last year. No youth football for a year. Football is one of those sports where it's difficult to get kids to come out and play if they haven't played in a while. Oh, here we go. This has been building since the first half.
Oh, boy.
I can tell you what, the coaching staff on this side has been keeping their kids pumped up, so we're kind of building towards this. It shouldn't be surprising after watching last season's game against these two teams.
Okay, I know who's involved here. Number one, if the number one for the Cedar Park took down our number 50.
Oh, that's a good idea. The coach for Cedar Park just said they want the JV team to play. Might be a good idea not to get your kids kicked out of the game. Give them a chance to play too.
So number one, number one, Matthew Duffy, who took down Hayden Murphy.
Freshman.
And then another player came in afterwards and to his defense.
Yep. Brian, I'm a firm believer. Stuff like that is on coaching staffs. And I'm not going to blame one side or the other, but how you teach your kids to handle those situations. So you see right now, the Sultan coaches got all the kids down on the knee.
It's offsetting penalties. It's going to go that way, but is anybody? Yeah.
It's a direct reflection on.
I didn't see anybody taken out of the game.
Well, and it would be a real bummer for either team in a short season like this. You lose a game, you get kicked out of a game, you're out the next game.
Yeah.
And right now, the Sultan coaching staff is taking care of that.
Well, everything's here on demand, so I'm sure that there'll be a lot of rewatches to see what happened. And I for one am always embarrassed when these things happen out on the field. So, Matt, I don't think you and I really need to spend much time on how disappointing that is to see that.
Well, the end result is nothing from a position standpoint, offsetting penalties. Doesn't appear that anyone was kicked out of the game.
No.
One of two things can happen. It could calm things down or make it a little bit more chippy. But it sounds like right now the coaches are doing a good job on both squads of trying to settle down their teams and get this under control, which is good. If I'm a Cedar Park team that's fighting for a league championship, I don't want to lose a player going into Kings. And I know from a Sultan standpoint, we are not deep, so we lose players. That's not going to help in a game next week against our rival South Whidbey.
Well, all right, let's send the JV team out. Maybe we.
And the Cedar Park coach is fired up. He is, excited. The JV team is going to be out on the field.
Well, that's
There's definitely some talking going on to some of those starters that are on the sideline that don't believe will be going back in the game.
come sail away with me, Sailor.
Zane Sailor with a 17-yard run for the Turks and a first down.
Now it's just Sailor right, hard yards left. Let's go score a touchdown. Yep. Put a new player in. Good for these younger players to get out there and get some experience. Sailor again.
Up the middle for 9 yards. Bring up second down for the Turks.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens if the Turks get down there and get close to scoring, to see what happens with the does.
It's easy to take a stand when you're 70 yards from the field.
But
I will be impressed if they hold it.
You know, so that be interesting to see, and you know, hard life lessons. You know, hard life lessons learned. I watched the replay, guys. I see what happened, and so
Hardwick up the middle.
Hard yards, getting the hard yards.
Gain of 12 yards and a first down for the Turks.
Well, Hayden Murphy, a 6'2", 185-pound freshman, leading the blocking out on that one.
Well, I guess the JV experiment is over as we got down a little closer to the other end. Guess that was a statement to the varsity team, right? We're going to take you out for 3 or 4 plays.
Well, I can tell you that I've only got really one phrase to say here, and it's #Turks first.
Well, we'll see how that's met with Turks here. We do have 2 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Oh, there we go, Zane. Zane with another. Zane's fired up right now.
There's somebody lit a fire.
Zane gets it down to the 16-yard line. That is a kid who is not going to give up.
No, I've been watching him play since he was a freshman, and I always enjoy watching him play. Not a whole lot there for him that time. You know, I think as the Turks are getting ready to run the ball up the middle, every game I call for the naked boot by the quarterback. You know, just so you know.
Well, and here's the thing: we basically have one quarterback.
Well, yeah, we probably shouldn't be doing that then.
Weston has got some reps during our pod practices and a little bit early in the season, but if we lose our quarterback, we are going to have somebody out there who's never played quarterback before. Unless Caden Hardwick does it, because he's played some quarterback.
No, he's played some quarterback out there.
But it's going to take away one of your biggest running options. Third down and 10 here.
Well, that's the miracle. That's the miracle of video, guys. Is that we can go back and we can watch what and see what happened. So I'm glad we have that there.
Weston Bauer on the sweep. Gain of about 5-6 yards. Bring up 4th down. We are almost in field goal range.
Almost there, huh? That's quite a. Well, I think he can make it from there.
Seen him do it in practice.
Yeah.
We're going to end of the 3rd quarter there too.
All right, here come the Turks. It is a 3rd and 7 coming up. So what's our best 3rd and 7 play?
4th and 7.
Is it 4th and 7? Oh,
Hey, I'm going to go
scoreboard's up.
with Weston getting it on a sweep and a pass out into the flat to Zane. Oh, he almost got the sweep. There is a penalty on the play. It's probably a legal motion, I'm guessing.
Oh, they'll decline that.
Yep. I believe there was a penalty. Maybe that was a football that I saw thrown up into the air. Yeah, no penalty. It's a lot colder now than it was before the game.
It is. It's a lot chillier. I'm upset I left my coat in the car. But at least I get to be here and chill with you, you know, for a couple hours on here on TurkPride.tv. Looks like our clock is doing something that it wasn't before on the change of possession.
Yep.
We're going to throw the bomb.
Oh, Feltner. Nice defense there. Knocks the ball down.
That young man, he's if he's not in consideration for first or second team Emerald, Emerald League, whatever it is we are nowadays, Emerald Sound, I'd be surprised. He's played some pretty strong defense over there. I mean,
well, we've definitely gotten a lot of our younger kids some experience this year.
Nice stiff arm.
That's Chapman running the ball.
Chaz Bush and a host of Turks over there on the tackle.
It'll be 1st and 10 Cedar Park at their own 44.
He's like, didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. Well, it was tough. He's kind of shielded from the ball by the player. He held up, but still gave him a little bit of a rib shot there. Will Chi running off the field.
So second down coming up. It's nice to have a number 12 to hand the ball to when you need to get 10 yards, isn't it? And just like clockwork, hand the ball to number 12.
Yep, Chapman gets about 9 yards on that play.
Now, who was Granite playing tonight?
Not sure. They played Cedar Park last week. I will check here. They lost to Bellingham 45-13.
Oh, Granite Falls did?
Yes. Last night, actually. Looks like Thursday they played. And Kings lost 48-6 to Linden Christian. Did you hear that score?
Yes, I did. I did. I heard. You know, I remember when Linden, my very first Turk high school football game, right after we moved in, Linden Christian was here. That was one of my and trying to remember the quarterback's name, but I was so impressed with him for the Turks. His name was Brian something, and
Brian Nelson.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So you were here the year they went to state. Is that your first year?
Yeah, I believe so.
About 2001.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, I was here.
Jim McDicken.
Yep, Jim McDicken. Yep. Yeah.
I coached that group of seniors when they were in middle school. We did not lose a game in middle school with that group.
There he goes.
An interesting story about that, actually. Brian hadn't played a lot of quarterback. He played a little bit growing up, but there was actually a car accident where one of the kids in that class passed away. He was a sophomore, and he was the quarterback for that group, Sean Meyer. And so, I mean, that group did a lot of fabulous things going to state, and they weren't even at full strength there. That was Blair Broughton's class.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we talked about the Gailey family. Gavin was on that team.
Yeah, I came in. I moved in. The next quarterback that I remember was Bo Champeau.
Yep.
And he looked like an offensive lineman, offensive tackle out there playing quarterback, and he could just sling it like 70 yards. The legend of Bo Champeau, you know, he could just sling it 70 yards, you know.
So funny thing about him, I had him in middle school too, and when he came up, his dad came up to me the first practice, and he said, "I know he doesn't look like a quarterback, but please give him a try." So we did for a few practices. He looked good, and he started on varsity as a seventh grader. Good arm back then too. Good smart kid.
Yeah, and
pretty good basketball player too.
Oh, I just sat there. I just loved to watch him shoot the three. It was just, all these memories we're talking about. You know, this is for the listening audience, for anybody that's out there that's Sultan alumni that's listening. You know what we're talking about as we reminisce. But we are looking at a pretty lopsided score right now, and good for the away team, not so good for the home team.
Absolutely.
And got some good athletes over there, and they're obviously well coached as far as the fundamentals and where to go and what to do, and so I really would like to have seen this team try to make. I want to see him take on Archbishop Murphy. I want to see what would happen.
Park.
Yeah, I'd like to see that this year.
Did you see Archbishop stayed close with Lake Stevens?
I saw that.
So we may have been wrong on that Kings Linden Christian score. I may have been. I'm looking at the website, and It says they played yesterday, but then it also says Kings plays South Whidbey today, and I don't think they played back-to-back days.
No, I don't think so.
So I'm not sure what that Thursday one was, and I don't know why Kings or Granite would have played Bellingham right now either. So who knows? Be interesting to see how Kings and South Whidbey did. South Whidbey, and that, according to the standings, that's South Whidbey's first game. We face them next week. 1st and 10 for the Turks at their own 36-yard line.
Hard yards.
A nice gain there of about 7-8 yards.
We got 4 minutes left, 4:18 left to go if the Turks are going to do it. And I hate to say it, we are at a running clock at this point in time. So the clock doesn't stop except for timeouts. So you gotta, if you're gonna score, you gotta go. In a football game, 4 minutes is an eternity of time if the clock's not running.
Yeah. Hardwick on the carry.
Hard yards. Trying to get the hard yards.
No gain.
So Cheryl Hardwick, didn't you tell me that you guys made a T-shirt that said hard yards on it? I seem to remember that. I think that's just great. I remember Hardwick is a young freshman. I drove him to wrestling camp over in Kashmir, and I got to know him on the way over there.
He's a funny kid.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Oh boy. Put the ball in.
Have you ever seen the video his dad did with the yellow jacket on? There's a video he's probably 7-8 years ago now, where he was a weather reporter, like you see the King 5 guys with the so he's out in his backyard in a snowstorm, and he's got like this pancake turner, and he's talking into it, and he's pretending like he's got his goggles on. Check it out on YouTube. Yellow jacket something. It's got tons of views. Very funny.
Well, Cheryl, I would love to see a picture of him wearing the Hard Yards T-shirt. I think that would be great. I'd even like to put it on our TurkPride.tv page.
Pass is incomplete.
And I'm going to...
Okay. That will bring up 4th down for the Turks. 4th and 6. All right, Cheryl, thanks. So anybody out there who wants to see something really funny, Ryan Hardwick Yellow Jacket, look it up. We'll see if we can get him some more views. I think he needs to do a sequel. Loss of a couple yards on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 12. Actually, maybe we'll make it 2nd and 13 from the 43. There are 41 seconds remaining. Looks like Cedar Park's going to run one more play here. And they're going to take a knee, which should put us to the end of regulation. So, final score here is going to be 49-0 Cedar Park. Once again, next week, the Turks will travel to South Whidbey. The plan is for us to be able to have a Turk Pride broadcast from South Whidbey. I know from having been there myself, it's a little more challenging from cell service. So hopefully we can find some Wi-Fi. If not, there should be a broadcast from South Whidbey, maybe from the South Whidbey side. But be listening. Check out social media. We will let you know about that broadcast. And then the Turks will be home again here in 2 weeks against Life Christian.
All right, so every once in a while, life calls, and you got to go answer it. So, hey, Matt, thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us
for
on the
having me.
broadcast tonight. Hopefully we'll get to do more with you. We won't talk about the score. We will let that go. For all of you people here from Cedar Park Christian that are here watching right now, thank you for joining us here on the broadcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time we see you here on TurkPride.tv. And from all of us here at TurkPride.tv, and from me, Brian, and Matt, it's always, as always, #TurksFirst.